The morning sun cast long shadows across Silver Peak's abandoned Main Street as my Range Rover navigated the crumbling asphalt. 5 years had passed since I'd first driven down this road, seeing potential where others saw only decay. Now, as construction crews prepared for another day of transformation, I could barely recognize the former ghost town I'd purchased for less than the price of a San Francisco apartment. My phone buzzed with a message from my assistant. The Bloomberg reporter will arrive at 10. The Wall Street Journal wants to move their interview to tomorrow. Also, Google's development team is requesting another meeting. I smiled, remembering the very different messages I'd received when I first proposed investing in Silver Peak. Rebecca Chen has lost her mind, the venture capital forums had declared, throwing away her tech fortune on a dead mining town in the middle of nowhere. They hadn't understood what I saw when I first visited Silver Peak, a perfectly preserved piece of American history, situated in a valley with ideal conditions for what I envisioned as the future of technological innovation. The town's isolation, once its greatest weakness, would become its strongest asset. The former mining town sat in a natural bowl surrounded by mountains, creating a controlled environment perfect for testing autonomous vehicles, drone delivery systems, and other technologies that needed space and privacy to develop. The consistent weather patterns and minimal interference from other radio signals made it ideal for advanced communications research. But what truly set Silver Peak apart was its infrastructure. The abandoned silver mines had left behind an extensive network of underground tunnels and chambers, naturally temperature-controlled and perfect for data centers. The town's original power station, built to serve the mining operations, could be modernized to provide sustainable energy. Even the old railroad line, though long dormant, offered potential for future transportation solutions. I had discovered Silver Peak during a weekend drive, taking a break from the pressures of running my successful cybersecurity company in Silicon Valley. The GPS had malfunctioned, sending me down a series of increasingly remote roads until I found myself in what appeared to be a movie set for a Western film. The town wasn't completely abandoned. A handful of residents remained, mostly elderly people whose families had lived there for generations. They maintained a small general store and a diner that served surprisingly good coffee. It was in that diner, talking with the locals, that I began to see the possibility of something extraordinary. Martha Wilson, the diner's owner and unofficial town historian, had shared the town's records with me. Silver Peak used to be a hub of innovation, she explained. The mining companies developed new technologies here, tested new methods. This valley has always been a place where people pushed boundaries. The more I learned, the more convinced I became. The town's elevation and geographical features created a natural testing ground for new technologies. The abandoned buildings, many still structurally sound, could be repurposed for modern use while maintaining their historical character. I spent 6 months researching, developing plans, and trying to secure investors. The response was uniformly negative. Remote work is one thing, one venture capitalist had said, but you're talking about building a tech hub in the middle of nowhere. No one will come. Finally, I decided to fund the initial phase myself. I had earned enough from my cybersecurity company's IPO to take the risk. The purchase of the town and surrounding land was surprisingly straightforward. Most properties had been in tax default for years. The first year was focused on infrastructure. We restored power and water systems, installed fiber optic networks, and began converting the most stable mine shafts into preliminary data center spaces. The few remaining residents became our earliest employees and strongest advocates. Martha's Diner became our unofficial headquarters. Over countless cups of coffee, we planned the transformation of Silver Peak into what I called an innovation district, a place where technology companies could develop and test new ideas away from the constraints and prying eyes of urban environments. The turning point came when a major autonomous vehicle company discovered our testing facilities. They had been struggling to find suitable locations for real-world trials of their technology. Silver Peak's empty streets and varied terrain provided the perfect environment. Their successful testing program attracted attention. Other companies began to inquire about the possibilities. Soon, we were fielding calls from drone manufacturers, renewable energy researchers, and artificial intelligence developers. The town's transformation accelerated. We restored historic buildings while maintaining their character, creating unique office spaces that blended Old West architecture with modern technology. The old Silver Assay office became a high-tech conference center. The saloon was reborn as a networking hub where engineers and entrepreneurs could collaborate. But we didn't just preserve the buildings, we preserved the town's spirit. Every new development had to meet strict guidelines ensuring it contributed to both innovation and community. We built housing that respected the valley's natural beauty while providing the amenities tech workers expected. The original residents became integral to the town's new identity. Martha's Diner expanded into a farm-to-table restaurant that became famous among Silicon Valley executives. Other locals started businesses catering to the growing tech community, while sharing the town's history and character with newcomers. 2 years into the project, the first major tech company announced plans to build a research facility in Silver Peak. Their decision validated our vision, but it also brought new challenges. How could we grow while maintaining the unique environment that made Silver Peak special? The answer lay in careful planning and a commitment to sustainable development. We implemented strict guidelines for new construction, ensuring that modern facilities blended with the historic architecture. Every project had to contribute to the town's ecosystem of innovation while respecting its heritage. As word spread about Silver Peak's transformation, the same investors who had dismissed the project began to take notice. Their inquiries were met with polite but firm responses. We were no longer seeking outside investment. The town's success had attracted more interest than we could accommodate. One morning, as I watched the sunrise paint the mountains in golden pink, Martha joined me on the diner's porch. "You know what makes this different from the silver boom?" she asked. "This time, we're mining ideas instead of minerals, and ideas don't run out." She was right. Silver Peak had become something unique in the tech world, a place where innovation could happen organically, away from the pressure and chaos of traditional tech hubs. We had created an environment where creativity could flourish while preserving the character that made the town special. The construction crews were starting their day now, carefully restoring another historic building that would soon house a quantum computing research team. The morning air filled with the sounds of progress, but not the frantic pace of urban development. Here, growth happened thoughtfully, purposefully. My phone buzzed again, another major tech company requesting a site visit. They would have to wait. We had learned to be selective about who we invited into our community. Silver Peak's value lay not just in its facilities but in its carefully cultivated environment of innovation and collaboration. The ghost town that investors had mocked was becoming the most exclusive address in tech, but our real success wasn't measured in property values or corporate tenants. It was measured in the ideas being born here, in the technologies being developed, and in the community we had built. The Bloomberg reporter arrived precisely at 10, her expression shifting from skepticism to amazement as she took in Silver Peak's transformation. We met in the restored Grand Hotel, its Victorian architecture now housing a state-of-the-art conference center while maintaining its historical elegance. "This is remarkable," she said, noting the seamless blend of past and future. "But what really interests me is how you've managed to attract such significant technology companies while maintaining the town's character." The answer lay in our carefully structured development approach. We had created what we called the Silver Peak Protocol, a framework that governed how companies could integrate into our community. It wasn't just about building facilities, it was about contributing to an ecosystem of innovation. Every company that establishes a presence here must meet 3 criteria, I explained. They must contribute to our technological infrastructure, participate in our knowledge-sharing initiatives, and demonstrate commitment to preserving the town's unique character. This selective approach had created unprecedented demand. Major technology companies weren't just requesting space, they were competing for it. The valley that investors had once dismissed as worthless now commanded premium prices, with companies willing to pay extraordinary sums for the privilege of joining our innovation community. The transformation reached a new level when Tesla announced plans to build their advanced research facility in Silver Peak. Their decision triggered a cascade of interest from other industry leaders. Suddenly, the town that had been a ghost story in the tech world became its most coveted address. Google's development team arrived the following week, their executives expressing amazement at what we had created. "This isn't just a tech hub," their chief innovation officer observed. "This is the future of technological development." They were particularly interested in our underground data centers, the former mining tunnels now housing some of the world's most advanced computing systems. The natural cooling properties of the mines had created an energy-efficient solution to one of tech's biggest challenges. Microsoft and Apple soon followed with their own proposals. Each wanted to establish research facilities in Silver Peak, recognizing the unique advantages our location and infrastructure provided. But we maintained our selective approach, ensuring each new addition contributed to the town's ecosystem rather than merely exploiting it. The bidding war that ensued made international headlines. Silicon Valley giants battle for ghost town gold read the Wall Street Journal's front page. The irony wasn't lost on those who had initially mocked the investment. Martha's Diner had evolved into an exclusive gathering spot where tech leaders met to discuss collaboration and innovation. She had maintained its authentic character while adapting to serve her new clientele, creating a unique space where Silicon Valley executives could escape the pressure of corporate environments. "You know what makes this place special?" she asked one morning, serving coffee to a group of tech CEOs. "It's not just the facilities or the location, it's the spirit of the place. We're still a mining town, we just mine different treasures now." The original residents who had stayed through the transformation became integral to the town's success. Their deep connection to Silver Peak's history helped maintain its authenticity even as it evolved into a technological powerhouse. Many found new careers supporting the innovation ecosystem, while others became valuable advisors on preservation and community development. 5 years after my initial purchase, Silver Peak had become something unprecedented in the tech world, a place where cutting-edge innovation coexisted with historical preservation, where technological advancement respected community values, and where collaboration trumped competition. The value of the property had increased beyond even my optimistic projections. Conservative estimates placed it in the billions, with major tech companies willing to pay premium prices for any available space. But the real value lay in what we had created, a new model for technological development that could be replicated in other forgotten communities. Universities began sending students to study our development model. Urban planners arrived to learn how we had balanced growth with preservation. Government officials sought insights into creating innovation hubs in their own regions. We established the Silver Peak Institute to share our experiences and help other communities explore similar transformations. The institute focused on identifying locations with potential for technological development while preserving their unique character and history. The same venture capitalists who had dismissed the project now sought to invest in similar opportunities elsewhere, but they often missed the crucial element that had made Silver Peak successful: the understanding that true innovation requires more than just facilities and funding. It needs an environment where creativity can flourish. Today, as I watch autonomous vehicles navigate our streets while drones test new delivery systems overhead, I'm reminded of those early days when everyone thought I had lost my mind. The ghost town they had mocked has become a living laboratory for the future of technology. The old mining company offices, now restored to their former glory, house our town administration. From my window, I can see the careful balance we've maintained: historic buildings alongside modern research facilities, all unified by thoughtful design and respect for the valley's natural beauty. Last week, a young entrepreneur asked me what I saw when I first visited Silver Peak. "I saw possibility," I told her, "not just for profit, but for creating something unique, a place where technology could advance without losing touch with history and community." The latest bids for space in our innovation district have reached astronomical levels, but we maintain our selective approach. It's not about the highest bidder, it's about finding partners who understand and contribute to our vision. Martha still serves the best coffee in town, though now she does it in a diner that's been featured in international design magazines. "You know what I love most about what you've done?" she said recently. "You didn't just save our town, you gave it a new purpose while keeping its soul." The ghost town that investors laughed at has become a model for the future of technological innovation, but more importantly, it's proved that progress doesn't have to erase history, it can build upon it, creating something richer and more valuable than either the past or future alone could provide. As the sun sets behind the mountains, casting long shadows across our blend of old and new, I think about the message Silver Peak sends to the world. Sometimes the best innovations don't come from destroying the old to build the new, but from finding ways to let them strengthen each other.